GM. GM. So, Monday is the 16th of September. We're looking at trade of the day. So, we moved up Friday afternoon, rallied all the way into the close, and every millisecond since Saturday, did not go above Friday, has just been a slow bleed, followed by an accelerated sell-off, right back down into the gap. We've bounced from where you'd expect it to bounce back at the previous order block demand area. But that bounce seems to have come to a halt pretty quickly. That's quite a solid reversal here that we've seen. This is not, this doesn't seem particularly strong from this point. And what I'd be looking at would be, first of all, open interest, which had been rising into the weekend, has fully retraced from Friday, which is quite interesting. We saw large liquidations on this first squeeze. We saw lesser liquidations on this second push. And long liquidations haven't really picked up, which is something to keep an eye on if we start to go lower. And at the moment, if it's able to hold like anywhere in this area, if it's able to hold kind of just around here and be choppy and just stay within that area, that's good. What you're going to see if this is bearish is you're going to see more of an immediate continuation lower. So if it makes a new low relatively quickly, you start to see this kind of price action here, where it's making lows and bouncing. That's when you're going to see a deeper sell-off, most likely. So I think it's going to go and test the lows again. And the area you're looking most at will be here. This zone is where positions built. If you look, pushed up into the highs last week, consolidated, had a sweep below, nice reaction, rallied up. Then this consolidation, which went through Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday we broke out from it. All of the positions building in this area here are underwater once that level gets lost. So if it goes back under here and holds, then we have failed to go higher. We've rejected off 60k. We've lost the daily bands. We've lost the 50 EMA. We've lost the value area, all the stuff I talked about in daily levels. And at that point, we're undoubtedly in a downtrend. Right now, we're not in a downtrend necessarily. You can say there's definite weakness there, but it's not that dissimilar to this move here where you pump up, you consolidate, you come back and sweep. You pump up, you consolidate, you come back and sweep. So if we can hold around here and just sort of grind our way higher, then it's going to be fine. It was just a weekend kind of flush out the longs, weekend shakeout, then we continue on in the same direction. But losing that level, I would say, is where you're looking at the most probable further downtrend. And I think if there's a significant sell-off, you'll probably see a strong counter trend rally as well before any continued downside, which would look something like this. If we see significant sell-off here, you'll probably see some kind of bounce. The fuck? Oh, that's a fucking annoying. Fucking fire alarm in the hotel. Matrix trended. The latest Matrix attack. So, anyway. I think that probably there's not going to be a huge amount to do before Wednesday. I could see a bit of volatility today when the New York session opens. So 1:30 UTC. After that, I'm pretty sure wherever we're at tomorrow morning is where we're going to stay. Tuesday's probably going to be very, very, very low volatility, very compressive. Because Wednesday, when Powell comes out and gives his press conference and they cut rates, that's most likely where you're going to see the biggest move of the week. So I'd be watching and looking for some clues and hints going into that. And we might see today something towards that end. If we're looking at what's above, gaps that are untested, I mean, all of this got tested, retested, that's all fine, no gaps, no gaps. There's only really one gap that's left there, and we've tried to retest that. So if we're getting into the low time frames, Bitcoin reclaiming above 59.5 or 6, that would tell me that probably we're moving back towards the highs. Until then, this remains as the resistance. That was where we bounced to, sold off from. We retested it, sold off from. So if it's unable to get above that area there, that's a sign of probably going lower. To the downside, we know where our main gap is down here, which is about 56. And that will be the area I think we go and revisit if it's unable to hold this area. Like, we're right at that 58k, we're right back into demand. This is an area you definitely don't want to see the market dropping from if you're a bull. If it does, I think you're seeing opening up potential. So how would that look? Losing 58 is going to take us down to these stops down here at 57. I think there could be a bounce from there, but if we don't, we're going back down to 56. I think that's roughly how it's going to trend downwards, and you could probably catch some day trade shorts within there. Overall, how's the market positioned? You know, we still have, in terms of funding rates, they're still broadly neutral / negative, although quite a pickup there. I waited. Yeah, we had a lot of negative funding throughout this move. Then that last push really cleared it all out, and funding's flipped back to positive. Not extremely, you know, it's not even back to neutral yet. The market's definitely not overheated in terms of funding. We still have spot premium, I believe. If we look at one of these spot charts, spot premium, yeah, we still have that spot premium. But make no mistake, market's bearish, and market is continuing to show weakness. So for me, I would zoom back out and view it the same way we did when we were last at 58, which looks like this. Around this 58k area, just where we are exactly now, the market chopped around for a couple of weeks. It held, it then lost it, we then got above it, we then lost it, we then retested it, and that's when it started to sell off. So we're back into this area here where you can see a lot of chop, and that chop can lead to up or down. I don't have a clear bias on that. I don't feel particularly that we're bullish or bearish on low time frames here that you can really indicate anything from, because we're in an early uptrend, but it's starting to show weakness. So I think you want to see a really clear move away from this 58. And if we see something, so basically when it came back into 58 last time, it held for a week or more before it went down. If it doesn't respect that this time, and then you see sort of a rally up back into it that's unable to hold, I think that there is probably where your short positioning gets built up. So a few different paths to watch out for today. 58k, today's low, is an area to watch. 56 down below us if we lose that. And getting back above 59 to 59.5 is where you look at some bullish moves again. So I would lean bearish just because that's the current direction. But unless something glaring comes out, I wouldn't be rushing into a position. That's it. GM, GM, GM.